Hey, Chris here. Today I want to take a look at a hard-sided spinner from NinetyGo. This is one of their 20-inch bags that has a lot of really unique and cool features. So let's go ahead and get started. So I'd like to begin by taking a look at some exterior features of this bag. And what's unique is that typically hard-sided spinners are going to be very similar, but this has some features that I want to kind of highlight. The first thing you'll notice about the bag is just the front of the bag. And what I like about this, and what you don't see on a lot of spinners, but I guess it is becoming a little bit more prevalent, is this is going to be a place for your electronics. So it's going to have this pocket on the front that's going to be able to hold a computer, a tablet, things to that effect, and we'll look at this a little bit closer shortly. But it's also going to have this TSA approved lock on the top that not only is going to be able to lock your main compartment, but also this front pocket as well. So I really like that. Real easy to operate. If you slide it one direction, your front zippers are going to pop out, and then you slide it the other direction, and then your other side is going to be able to pop out as well. So really like that about the bag. I like the handles as well. You'll see there's a handle on the top of the bag and one on the side. These are really low profile, and if you've watched any of my previous videos, a lot of times I don't like bags that have really thick handles. And while they might be comfortable, I just think that sometimes they take up additional space that isn't necessary. The bag seems to roll really well. Transitions side to side, I don't see any problems with that. And the wheels have kind of a rubber feel to them, so I like that as well. And the last thing we'll look at is just the handle of the bag. Some nice size to the handle here. And it's going to be able to lock in a couple of different positions here. So I like that. And really overall just a nice finish to this bag. So next what we'll do is I do want to take a look inside the bag, not only the main compartment, but show you this front pocket as well. Let's take a look inside this front pocket here. So after you unlock this, if you do have the zippers locked, the bag unzips on both sides all the way down the front of both sides of the bag here. What I really like about this front pocket here is that there's Velcro and a couple of snaps here that if you only want to open it this far, you can. But when you unbutton and just undo the Velcro, it lets you basically completely open the front here, which I actually really like this. So I have a few items I want to pack inside here, and you do have a few pockets here. I have an iPhone XR here. Some of these smaller pockets, it'll actually fit in either one of these, so I'll go ahead and put that in here. Hopefully you can see what that looks like. Fits it very well. This one's actually a little bit larger, and there's padding on these. Also a place for a pencil here, kind of an elastic pocket, and then some places for some electronics. So I have a couple of electronics here that we'll throw in here. I have just an iPad mini. And I have a MacBook Air. I'll slide this in. Hopefully you can see this. To me, the MacBook Air, it's a 13-inch, fits extremely well. What I like about this, it's elastic as far as the way to secure. So you kind of pull it out and over, and then there is some Velcro here to Velcro it in place. So again, that's in there extremely well. Hopefully you can see that. So even really the ability to throw a couple of smaller items in here if you needed to. So then if you wanted to Velcro and snap that back, you could. Extremely easy to zip the bag up and then lock that on the top. So now we'll get into the main compartment here. So you'll see on this side, and this is going to be the same side as your electronic, you're going to have some straps in here that if you want to kind of hold some items. And what you can potentially do here, if you have some like dress shirts, or say a puffy jacket, or a few jackets, or sweatshirt, or some pullovers or whatever, you could definitely put those here. And then this other side, you will see that there's some pockets here that have the mesh, and then when you unzip this, it's going to let you get inside for some additional space. So what I'll do is I will pack some items in here like I typically do, and just show you how you can utilize this space. And so what I'm going to do on this side with, again, the electronics on the other pocket, is I'm going to put my packing cubes. And so the first one I have is a Gonex packing cube, and in this one I do have 4 t-shirts and 1 pair of hiking pants. And then I'm going to use an e-bags packing cube, and this is going to have 2 pair of hiking pants and 2 t-shirts. And I will use the strap here to hold everything in place. You'll see that's going to work very, very well. And just to throw a few other items in the bag, to me you could easily put some shoes. If you had another packing cube, I could see that going in here, but I just have some headphones, a mesh bag for my dirty clothes, and then a toiletry bag. And hopefully you can see this. I really have space for a lot of additional items in here. And if you wanted to, depending on how you wanted to pack your bags, you could definitely put your packing cubes on this other side. And like I said, if you had some sweatshirts, jackets, and things to that effect, you could throw it over here and strap it down. But just to show you that you have the ability to do it this way, just wanted to throw the packing cubes on this side. Bag zips up very, very well. You need to lock everything in place. Again, not an issue whatsoever. So to finish up, I do want to give some final thoughts on this bag. I also want to let you know the price of the bag and talk about some of those measurements and the weight of the bag as well. In full disclosure, I did receive this bag free of charge. I had a representative from, I believe, their parent company, Domi, that asked if I would be interested in taking a closer look at one of their bags, and I said yes, I would. And one thing I want to mention is I've had quite a few companies reach out to me about some different opportunities at looking at their product, and I really just have one criteria, and my criteria is if somebody is really interested in me taking a look, as long as they don't put any strings attached to it, I'll be happy to look at most items. So I have had companies who have said, hey, we'll send you something, but we need you to pay for it up front, then we're going to refund your money. I have no desire to do that. I've had other companies who say, hey, you know, we'd like for you to review this, but we want to see the video before you release it. And again, I have no desire to do that. So if a company reaches out to me, I usually say, hey, I'll be glad to take a look at it and give my honest opinion. And if they're still interested in sending that out to me, then would love to take a look at their product, especially if it's a bag or some kind of travel accessory. So a huge thank you to the Domi team for sending this out to me to take a closer look at. The bag is branded NinetyGo, and there's a lot of Go logos on this bag, and I actually really like that. I like to see the branding on a bag. So the handles, and I think the zippers, and even the packaging it comes in, it says Go on the bag, and I like that. So overall, some good branding and good marketing as far as that goes. The bag retails for around $160 on Amazon. Currently there's a $20 off coupon, so around $139, $140. The bag, as far as dimensions go, it weighs in, I actually weighed the bag, it weighs in at around 7.8 pounds. And as far as the actual size dimensions, I measured around 21.5 inches without counting this small handle here by 14 by 9. And I love the low profile handles, very similar to the Away carry-on, and to me this is all you need. So I see no problem with the handles, and they're going to definitely get the job done. So overall I like the dimensions, and it should fit most airlines' carry-on requirements. So what are the pros and cons of the bag? I guess the first pro I'll mention is the price of the bag. I think that, to me, I could definitely see this bag at that $120 29, 130 range with no issue. So if you can get this bag, I guess anywhere, if we look at a wider range from say 99 to 150, I would actually feel very comfortable at that range. The overall feel of the bag feels well built, and I see no issue with the build quality whatsoever. I think thinking about just a couple of cons, some of the material on the inside, again, you can feel, I guess, where some of that cost cutting is implemented. You know, you have to remember this is not a $400 or $500 bag, and I have no problem with that. The handle as well, it does feel a little bit plasticky and has some flex in it. But if I'm paying $130 for the bag, I have no problem with that whatsoever. The bag, like I mentioned before, rolls extremely well, and I like the overall design. This is a 33-liter bag according to the information that comes with the bag. But to me, you can definitely squeeze a lot of items in here. And what I have in here, no bulge, no issue whatsoever. I really like the front pocket a lot more than I had anticipated. When I first saw it, I was like, I'm not sure. But I know in some of their, I guess, online material, this is called a hatch or the hatch or something like that. So again, just to throw those electronics in. And to me, it's going to be very well protected in here. Nicely padded, and again, kind of a hard material, so I like that. So I think overall, for the price and for what you're getting, definitely like this bag. And I'm definitely interested in taking a look at a few more hard-sided spinners because I just have limited experience overall. But if you think about, I guess one of my favorite pieces of luggage of all time is the Away Carry-On, and this has some similar features, and I don't think that's a bad thing whatsoever. So would love to hear your thoughts. Are you in the market for a hard side spinner? What is your favorite hard side spinner? And if you are in the market, this is a bag that you might want to take a closer look at. So what I'm going to do with this, I'm actually going to put this in my long-term test rotation, or whatever you want to call it. I know I said that earlier with the Ozark Trails hydration backpack, and again, I think some of these bags, again, I want to test just to see, because I didn't find a whole lot of information, say online or Amazon, about this bag. So definitely interested to see how it holds up long term. So I will link this in the description below if you want to take a closer look, so feel free to do so. As always, thank you so much for taking time to watch. Please like, subscribe, and leave those comments. Again, thank you so much.